What's going on, Kings fans? It's your boy JB here, and I am joined today by Kerry Thompson of Kingsguard Gaming, aka Kerry.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for joining us today, man. How you doing?
I'm happy to be here, man. Just been grinding the off season, had to stop by.
Appreciate you stopping by, man. Eager to get to know you, hop in, learn your journey. Just starting off, for the folks that may not know, walk us through how you got into professional gaming.
Actually, I got in professional gaming when 2K first introduced. Well, not first introduced. I'm not gonna say that. The 250K tournament. It was actually for Pro-Am, and I was watching that, and then obviously I seen people we know now like Dimes. He still plays in the league, and Kenny. They was playing at that high level, and I was like, wow. Like I always loved the 5v5 Pro-Am gaming, so. They're making a lot of money from this, and then it's funny, when I got into it, the year after the 2K League was announced, so it was like, okay, that's what I'm going to do, because, they made 250K from it, and then now you can be a professional from it. I'm like, oh, that's easy. Let me go for it.
So was it a situation where you had played with those guys or played with guys with similar stature and realized, I'm up to that par as well?
Yeah, I just felt like when I was watching, I always felt like, okay, I could do that. I felt like it wasn't nothing they could do that I couldn't, so I was like, all right, let me try this. This should be fun. I like playing at a high level anyway, so like let me see what I could do versus those guys. And then I found my way up through the community, and then just been playing those guys for years. So that's how I
really history
got into it.
So when you look back, just at your life of being a gamer, do you remember the video game that really sparked your love of gaming?
Yeah, I will have to say we're going all the way back to the Game Boy. I was playing Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Classic.
The classic Pokemon where you got to choose between 3 of the first Pokemon. I always chose, what was his name? I forgot his name.
So you got Squirtle, you got Bulbasaur, and you got Charmander.
Yeah, the fire, right? Yeah, Charmander was always my pick every time. So yeah, that one started me off, and then obviously we kept going up with, like, you had the DS, and then you had the PSP, and then you had the consoles coming out, GameCube, Wii. So I've just been moving on up with every game. I've been trying to keep up.
I was a big Pokemon man myself growing up, and I recently bought a Game Boy Color. Yeah. And I got the original Pokemon, and I was playing it on the airplane. I'm like, man, people are going to be sitting beside me seeing me playing this game. They're going to think it's so cool. All they saw was me just losing to the Elite Eight over and over and over again.
Nah, that game bring a lot of nostalgia, I would say, for sure.
It's great, man. So outside of sports, what are your favorite video game genres?
I would say outside of sports, it would probably be like more of the comic side of things, because I'm a real like superhero type of guy. So like Marvel, DC. So like games like that. Like they have an Avengers game that came out. I tried that a little bit, and they have what do you call that? DC versus Marvel Universe.
Yep.
Yeah, I dabbled in that a little bit. I try not to get into it that much, but I'm a big superhero fan. So.
Respect. Is it like the fighting games, or you like the storylines? That they sometimes
I'm more of a storyline type of person, but I've played the fighting games too, and I will also say Mortal Kombat too. That's a fun one.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat's great.
Yeah, that's an OG.
Yeah, exactly, right? So outside of 2K, what would you say your favorite video game is?
Outside of 2K, my favorite game would have to be, I would say I'm real big on Fall Guys. Like when I'm not playing 2K, you're gonna catch me on Fall Guys a little bit. So right now, Fall Guys.
Right now, okay, cool. I'll check in again in 6 months, see if that's changed. So your rookie season, you were drafted with the 55th pick in the 3rd round. What do you remember about that moment? Just finally being in the professional ranks.
Well, you said it best. It literally was finally, like, it was a real big relief, to be honest, because the first season I tried in, I was like one step away from getting the 102. Back then, the 102 was guaranteed to get drafted. Like if you made it, you're getting drafted regardless. So I made the top 250 through the combine. The first 2 years, season 1 and 2, one step away, and then season 3, I didn't make it in the pool at all. That was when it was an open draft pool. More than 102 got in, so I didn't make it in the draft pool, and I really felt like I got in. So season 4, I was like, I think season 4 was like one of my last chances. Like I was gonna go for it because it was like been years. I'm like, okay, I gotta see if this is my shot. So it's like after all those years, like you said, man, it was finally, literally finally. You could see my reaction on the video. I literally tearing up. I wore glasses back then, had to take them off. Like I was so excited. A lot of emotions, man.
That's great, man. That's great. So, as I mentioned, 55th pick of the third round, your first year. Second year, drafted with the 39th pick of the second round. And then the Kings selected you with the 28th pick of the second round. Mm-hmm. And then this year, you were retained. So you've improved your standing in the league every year that you've been here. Mm-hmm. Talk about the work that you've put in order to accomplish that.
I think it's really about, like, obviously, I get better through experience. So every year I literally take the season as my brain being a sponge. I'm trying to learn everything I can. Mm-hmm. So the first season, when I was the 55th pick, I was a 6th man, so I was behind at watching the games and being behind great players such as Crush, Majestic, Nadal, Yusuf, like veterans in the league. So I used that 6-man experience to learn everything I need to know. Then that next year, I did the same thing with the Knicks. So I think my just improvement just comes from the experience I've been through in the league and just that mindset of every year I want to get better at something and just keep improving because I don't take this for granted at all. I love what I do. So every year I'm never going to become complacent. I'm going to improve every year.
And what does it mean to you to have, that faith from, head coach Lavelle and GM Dell that they retained you for this season?
I love it. Everybody loves when they have somebody that has your back and has faith in you. Just having faith in you makes you want to go harder and makes you want to fight for that person. My whole stigma, being in the league was fight for family. So, obviously, them bringing me back, they're trusting me for fighting for the Kings. So I could only do that for them.
Nice. And just diving into those relationships a little bit more, how would you describe your working relationship with former head coach and now GM Dell Layton?
Yeah, I mean, DJ, I call him DJ. He got me started in all this. To be honest, he picked me as a 6th man. I always respect him for that and give him credit for that. He got me started in this whole thing. So I think my relationship with him is the closest, obviously, because he's seen my growth. He's seen me from the little kid with the glasses and just coming in the prime to what I am now. So me and DJ are obviously close. I could talk to him about anything, and he gives me a lot of advice. And he's more on the composure side, so he keeps me composed and keeps me chill and keeps me sane during the season.
Respect. So what about the new head coach Lavelle Cole?
Yeah, I think Verse. His gamer tag is Verse. Obviously, it's Lavelle Cole, but I call him Verse. So I think Verse he really stepped into his role tremendously. Obviously, he came in the first season as assistant coach behind DJ, just basically learning and experiencing, learning the ropes. And I think he really stepped in and did his thing, to be honest. I credit him for just the work he put in. Obviously, we didn't have a great season, but he tried every single day. And that's all you could really ask for somebody that's coming in new. Just try. Just try every single day. So, I always give him credit for that. And, we have a great relationship. I know I could talk to him about anything as well. So, you just love that in, people above you with DJ and Verse. You could just talk to him about anything, even on and off the game. So, I think that's a great relationship to have to any team.
Absolutely. And have you had any conversations with them yet about how they plan on using you this season?
Yeah, for sure. We definitely talked about it in my exit interview, and we've been talking about it ever since the announcements came out, for sure. Just what I need to improve on, what they need from me next season, and what they look forward to see from me next season. And obviously, I'm working on that. We agree on a lot of things. We see eye to eye, where I need to improve, how we want the team to be ran sort of structured wise, defense and offense, and just the vibe of the team. So I think seeing eye to eye like that also is going to come big for us next year.
You mentioned them just giving you some things that you should work on this season. What are some of those things that you've been working on improving this offseason?
I think I've been trying to improve as a leader. I know I'm going to come in next year. We have 3 first-round picks, and then you have Bray. He second-year person. So, I'm more looking forward to being, more of a leader coming in. If I have 3 new guys and then a second-year person in Bray, this is going to be my 4th year in the league. So this is going to be I would be the person be looking to with the veteran leadership and experience in the league. So I think being a leader and then just being a more complete player. I feel my defense is elite, but I want to match that with my offense just to become a great player as a whole.
That's fair. And you mentioned Bray, as someone that's going to be the leader of this team. What do you see out of him, and what do you want to see out of him this next season?
Oh, Bray is amazing. I think Bray is his work ethic puts him above a lot of players in the league. A lot of players in the league like sometimes become complacent, but Bray comes in like even with the season we had last season, like I said, you can't knock somebody for trying every single day, and that's what you get out of Bray. I think Bray is like a really good defensive-minded player too, and he also can do the glitchy things on offense too. So I think. And then he also can play multiple positions. Like, if you give him a position to play at, he's going to work hard at it and become great at it. So, Bray is an amazing player, and I can't wait to play with him next season.
Nice. So, if you talk to an NFL fan or an NBA fan or even MLB, they can tell you, what an off-season looks like. Mm-hmm. But esports is still relatively new. So, Can you walk fans through, like, what a typical off-season looks like for you?
I'm not gonna lie, sleep, eat, and game. Literally, that's really it. That's literally all I've been doing. So like a typical schedule for me is like waking up at around noon, maybe 1 o'clock, and just getting straight to the game. Like obviously after I do the essentials, you feel me? But you go through the day at like 12, and then going to sleep around like 3, 4 a.m. So that's like 14 hours on the game, and then you go to sleep, and you're going to wake up right back at the same time, and then rinse and repeat every time. So that's basically what my offseason been looking like for sure.
That sounds like a grind, though. That's a lot of hours on the game. That's a lot of hours on the game.
I mean, we're not professionals for no reason. So, like, we definitely put a lot of time in, and we make sure, like, we perfect our craft to the fullest. So
nice. So just switching gears a little bit, if you weren't a professional gamer, what career would you be pursuing?
I think it would still be circled around basketball. I've been loving basketball since I could remember, to be honest. So, like, I played basketball, like, amateur leagues and stuff, and, like, I always liked watching the games, too. So I think I always wanted, like, if I didn't find, like, this career path in 2K still around basketball, I think I would go into something like marketing or, like, sports. What do you call that? Like, the people that write the articles.
Oh, media.
Yeah, media.
Journalism.
Yeah, journalist, there it is. Yeah, so I would be something around like basketball journalist, basketball marketing, something around basketball. I love basketball.
So for someone that loves basketball, it's got to be great to be able to be around the Kings, be able to go to the games and just experience everything that is Sacramento basketball.
Yeah, man, it's a blessing, to be honest. The opportunities that I've got from just playing this game, like just being courtside, shown on the Jumbotron, like me watching as a kid or as just a fan in general, like I'm seeing people on the Jumbotrons at halftime shows, and I'm like, oh man, that's crazy. But now I'm featured on it, so it's like that's just insane to me. I'm meeting these NBA players I thought I'd never see a day in my life, but nah, it's just crazy to see. I just be taking it in as it goes. It's great. I'm not gonna lie.
That's awesome, man. So, other than basketball, what are some of your other hobbies outside of gaming?
I would say my other hobbies outside of gaming, I like to really go and watch movies. To be honest, I'm a real big movie guy. I like to just watch anything I feel like is good, like a lot of different movies. I think the last great movie I seen that I would say is like a 10 out of 10 is like. This year, it would have to be Saw. I recently just seen that.
I saw you post that on Instagram, 10 out of 10. I was going.
It was amazing to me. That was great. I love the ending of it.
Are you a fan of the whole series? Or?
Yeah. I'm a real big Saw fan. So, like, just to see that was a great movie. And I think I think it was this past year or I think it was 2 years ago now, Top Gun. Top Gun is another real good movie. So, like, I be trying to keep up with a lot of movies. I try to get into different genres of movies and all. So I'm a big movie guy for sure.
Nice. Do you have a favorite genre of movies?
I would say comedy, but if I'm not saying comedy, I would have to say like suspense. I like suspenseful type movies that try to catch you on your heels.
So if you were on a deserted island and you can only bring one movie, and you had to watch it over and over again, what would the movie be?
Over and over again. Okay, listen, I'm a huge Marvel fan. So it's obviously got to be a Marvel movie, and I'm going to have to go with Endgame. I'm going to have to go with Endgame. That's my favorite movie of all time, and obviously I feel like that's the best movie in the Marvel franchise, besides Infinity War, which is like part 1, part 2, but Endgame is like perfect to me. That's a perfect move.
It's a good choice. It's a good choice. So your coaches, I had a conversation with them about you yesterday, and they described you as an old soul. Would you say that you identify with that description?
No, for sure. I definitely credit to my mom and my sister. That's literally their fault. I literally, growing up every Sunday, it's cleaning day every Sunday, so the radio be on. It's just all old school jams. So I think it's just carried up on and carried me through my life, and like now that's basically all I listen to. I still keep up with like the new stuff, but like most of the time I'm listening to old school songs for sure.
Who are some of your favorite old school musicians?
I would say you got to go Anita Baker, you got Luther Vandross, Stevie Wonder. I could go all day.
You pulling out the OGs right now.
I could go all day. You got Teddy Pendergrass.
Wow.
Like I could go all day with this. New Edition. I'm a real New Edition fan.
Nice.
I got bigger on them when I watched the documentary.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah, that documentary was tough. So I definitely became a bigger fan of them. Mint Condition, Michael Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
I can go all day.
Yeah. That's fair. That's facts. Well, you got a pretty sound library there.
For sure. My playlist is elite.
Yes. So, what about TV shows? Do you watch a lot of TV shows or?
No, for sure. I definitely get into a lot of TV shows. Just same as movies. Like I like to dip in different genres, like anything romance, comedy, action, whatever. I think TV show I'm on right now, Marvel, Loki just came out. I'm on that. Recently, I think it was this past year or this year, it was Outer Banks that had came out. I'm real big on Outer Banks and the show called You with Joe and the hat and stuff. Yeah, I'm big on You too. So like I try to dip into different ones. I just recently watched the reality show Love Is Blind. I'm in that too. So
yeah. My wife got me on that.
Yeah, Love Is Blind is tough to me. It's funny seeing like how first they like, oh, Love Is Blind and all that, and then when the reveal come out, it's just
not blind no more.
It's not blind no more. So it's always funny.
Would you ever go on a show like that?
Nah, no. I can't. That would be too crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
That's fair. That's fair. So just to wrap things up, given all that you've been through to get to this moment in your career, what advice would you give to any aspiring professional gamers out there?
I would say like if this is what you want to do, go for it. To be honest, don't let no setbacks like fill your cloud of judgment. Like just go for it. To be honest, and just put the work in. That's all you could do is like put the work in, improve. And if you want to be a professional gamer, you obviously have to go against professional players. Show out. Like let's say you go against a professional player for time and time again, and you're not doing so well. So that's when you sit back, improve, watch, play, just improve your game, keep improving, and keep going for it. That's all I can say.
That's a bet. Well, aspiring gamers, you heard it from Kerry. Work on your game, grind, and eventually you'll find your way to the top.
Yes, sir.
But I appreciate you joining us today.
Appreciate you for having me.
No problem. For Kerry, this is JB signing off. Go Kings and go Kingsguard Gaming.
Yes, sir.